Hey, it's your friend in wrestling, Stephen Platinum, with Platinum versus AEW Dark, which is their 48th episode. And boy, was it a doozy. 13 matches. Their longest AEW Dark to date. It clocked in at almost, it was like hour 58 minutes or something like that. Almost 2 hours. Our main event is going to be Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela versus Hybrid 2. And our commentators are Taz and Tony, as always, and Vita Scott, who's there again, which makes me very happy. I hope this is not her last appearance. Now that she's done the finals of the Women's Tag Cup, which is what she was originally brought in, and they had her commentate that part of it, of the Saturday Dynamite, which I thought was really great, and now she's doing Dark again, which is also great. Tony kept out of this by and large and really let Vita, Vita, especially in the beginning of the show, was doing all of the talking. And at one point, Taz even said, Tony, you still here, because he was letting Vita talk so much. But again, I see you, Tony. I see what you're doing, really trying to help Vita get that job. And Vita is living up to it again, had something really cool to say in every one of these matches about the enhancement talent as well as the main people. I just really appreciate the work that Vita put in. If I can't have that job, I hope she gets it. Anyway, here we go. Our first match, Storm Thomas and Dimitri Jackson, first timers here in AEW Dark, against the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent. Chuck Taylor, usually it's Trent doing the lion's share of the work. Here it's much more even. I thought their pile driver roll into another pile driver move, while it didn't look particularly great, I think it's one of those things that with a little more flow it could work. They eventually get the win. Not a lot to say about this match. The best friends won, so that's one check mark. They looked great in the process. That's a second check mark. The enhancement guys weren't really made to look great, but I don't think that was the point. I think the best friends are the ones going into an emotional feud, right, with Santana and Ortiz. And so this didn't need to be a back and forth match, and it wasn't. And so even though I only give this thing 2 checks out of 3, I will say that the job was done that was supposed to be done. And I'm sure they'll have Storm Thomas and Dimitri Jackson again, where they can show off a little more. But their job here was to get moshed by the freaking best friends, and that's what happened. Match number 2, Jesse Sorensen, always great to see him, against Shaun Spears with Tully. A competitive match such as it is, 3 check marks across the board. Shaun Spears does good work in the ring, and this is no exception. Jesse Sorensen looks really good with a move or two that he busts out. Really effective. So 3 check marks for these guys. We get an MJF promo, basically promoting All Out on September 5th when he's going to take on Jon Moxley, the champion. Match number 3, Red Velvet. Big fan of Red Velvet, and she looks really good here, and I would say she was one of the 3 best jobs of any of the enhancement talent. Gets a really good match with Mel here going. Vita puts over a dance background for Red Velvet. That choke slam into the spine buster thing that Mel uses just doesn't look great to me. But I gotta say, this match gets 3 check marks. Boom, boom, boom. Really good look. Red Velvet looks great. I hope that she can continue to work for AEW because I think she looks great. She wrestles great, and she's got enthusiasm for the gig. We get a commercial for AEW Heels, which my daughter still continues to enjoy. Match number 4, D3 against Lance Archer with Jake Roberts. This is the Lance Archer match that should happen. D3 is a lot smaller and avoids some contact in the beginning, but once he gets caught, he gets beat up, and he should. Lance Archer has to go back to the shtick of beating up a staff member. Again, it's our fair Dylan, once again, getting beat up. This time, though, because it's the second time he gets beat up, see, I notice these things, he actually ducked Lance Archer once before getting waylaid. So I see you. If you're going to beat me up twice, the second time I'm going to be a little more savvy to it. Again, beating up staff members to me is really stupid, but I can see where they got caught in a situation where they didn't have a choice but to do it. Maybe the idea is that Lance Archer doesn't always have to just beat somebody up before a match. But, neither here nor there. 3 checks. I think D3 did a really good job. Obviously, Lance Archer, this is the strongest he's looked in a long time in a match, and it did the job. And he also got to show off a little bit with his speed, which is logical. We got Luther and Serpentico versus the Initiative with Leva Bates. And this match I was looking forward to the most because I'm actually into wanting to see the Initiative win. They do not. But the match is very good, and John Cruz, Serpentico, is always fantastic, and they win the match, and so both teams looked really great in this process. I also saw the Initiative's thing on being the Elite, where they sort of had an argument afterwards, where Avalon wants to cheat to win, do whatever it takes to get the win, and Brandon's trying to keep him on the proper path, and Leva's torn in the middle. By the way, Leva looks great. That look for her that she had for this match is, of all the looks that she has, is my favorite. I'll say no more. You should just go watch it yourself. Get a commercial. Chris Jericho talking about the Inner Circle, building up to the Mimosa Mayhem match. All right, that's going down. Number 6 match. I told you it was a lot. Nyla Rose against Kylin King. Kylin King, one of the 3 people who I think did the best job development-wise. Number 1's Red Velvet. The second person is Kylin King. The Samoa drop that she did to Nyla Rose was fantastic. She did as good a job or a better job having a competitive-ish match with Nyla Rose and having it look great than just about everybody. To the point where Vicky Guerrero, who's there for Nyla Rose, had to push Kylin King off the top rope when the ref wasn't looking to ensure that Nyla Rose would win. Kylin King is somebody else who I hope it continues to stick around. Then Vicky Guerrero cuts a promo. That's nice to hear. And she declares she and Nyla Rose the Vicious Vixens. Boy, I hate that name, but it is what it is. 3 check marks on this match, of course. Number 7, this match. Frank Stone, Baron Black against the Gun Club. Nothing spectacular about this match. It's pretty by-the-numbers tag match. I don't think Frank Stone or Baron Black looked particularly good in this, so I'd give it the first 2 checks, but the Gun Club looked fine, and they're going to keep doing that. Now they're calling it the quick draw, that hip toss into a neckbreaker move that Austin does for a finisher. They're just going to keep doing this fucking thing, so I'm going to quit complaining about it. I will say it has looked better and better every time he's done it, even if I don't think it looks like much of a finisher. I will say they're doing it well, and I always say you can get away with just about anything as long as you do it well. We're reminded that Dynamite is going to be on Thursday, not Wednesday. We get that MJF promo again. Keep in mind, this is a 2-hour show, so these promos, you're going to see them more than once. 8th match, Penelope Ford against Heather Monroe. Heather Monroe looked really good in this match. Penelope Ford continues to improve, continues to get better. 3 check marks. Not a whole lot to say about this, except Heather Monroe got to show off a little more, and I thought that was really great. She looked good in the process. Not quite as good, again, as Velvet. Not quite as good as Kylin King or Shaun Dean later on. Does a really great job, but we're going to get to that. We got the Metro Brothers, new guys, against Santana and Ortiz. Not much to say. The Metro Brothers did a fair job. Santana and Ortiz are always great. I'll give this 3 check marks. And I'll say that power bomb, boom, and then like lifting the dude up and then having him get kicked in the face looks just really brutal. And the Best Friends attack, which is nice. Again, I love that they continue stuff and develop stuff and do new stuff and all that on AEW Dark. I love it. Best Friends attack, send Santana and Ortiz running away. We pushed the Jericho Inner Circle promo with the Mimosa match again. All right. Number 10, Ricky Starks against Shaun Dean. Really competitive match. I think it's my favorite Ricky Starks match that he's had on AEW Dark to date. 3 checks for sure. Shaun Dean looks really good, and it's really competitive match, and Ricky Starks, even when he wins, with that finisher that is really good, the Rochambeau, that they continually show on replay and talk about a lot, because it really is. It's a simple move, but it really works. And Shaun Dean looks great here. Ricky Starks wins, but really puts over the fact that Shaun Dean gave him a run for his money, which is super cool. Good for Shaun Dean. Match number 11, Jake Hager against Marco Stunt. I liked about this match. I mean, it is what it was, right? Marco Stunt avoids damage and then finally gets caught and gets the shit beat out of him. Okay. I like that Marco Stunt sold his leg being hurt off of a Beal throw. Really, really cool. And then gets choked with a side choke that Jake Hager does. Loses. Jake goes to punch him again. Hits him, but then Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus clear the ring, setting up more stuff betwixt their factions. And I'm here for it. AEW Heels commercial. Okay. Then we got Kazarian against Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford. I actually don't know who's going to win this, but it turns out, after a very good match that made logical sense, Frankie Kazarian wins with the Scorpion Death Drop. That's SCU needed a win. Let's be real. I'm not going to do a checkmark thing with this because it's a competitive match. Doesn't make sense, but I'll say it was a very good match, and Kazarian winning was a bit of a surprise. MJF promo. It's the last one we're going to get. And then we get match number 13, our main event, Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela against Hybrid 2 and Jericho and Jack. And Jack wins with a pin on Sonny Kiss, which was a shock, with that backslide into a roll-up thing. Okay. Great match. Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela, I do wonder, is this where they go into obscure land now that they're losing matches to put other mid-level teams over to get them up? What does that mean for Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela? I know that seems like, oh, you're acting like a wrestling fan, like one loss matters. No, I just get this feeling that they don't have a plan for Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. Or that plans are going to change. I just don't see them continually teaming up in this weird thing of they beat most teams but not the main teams. That's really not a permanent kind of spot. You know what I mean? Dynamite Thursday. Jericho's going to be on commentary. We're going to have that tag gauntlet. We're going to have a tables match with Hardy and Guevara. Wow. Big Swole versus Britt Baker and in a handicap match along with Penelope Ford. Yeah, looks like a big show. And I am here for it. And I'll be covering that one. And I'll get that one out as soon as it happens, really. But this has been Platinum versus AEW Dark from August 25th, 2020. Take care.